your vibrations have been flowing with Night Watch and with Sister Nefertari and her program. And so we're listening to you. And this is just a different energy than what we've experienced from just about anybody doing anything. So talk to us a little bit about your inspiration and how you came across such a...
Well, the technique is, sometimes referred to as decreeing, or invoking. Basically I'm using, that divine connection, using the voice and speaking the word to invoke and dream awake the manifestation of those things that are near and dear to my heart. Spirit Rap, I released the CD in the year of 2000, and since then it's been my top selling CD, and a whole network of people use that on a regular basis. So it's like a telepathic tribe, and the power of the invocations keep growing by virtue of the continuous expanding numbers of people that work with common invocations.
Oh, very good. And the didgeridoo, there probably are some who are familiar and others who are not, in terms of the physical instrument other than your voice that you're using.
Well, the didgeridoo, and I hope I get a chance to play it for you. Yeah, I brought it into the studio. However, it came to the planet via the tribal Aborigines of Australia. And it's just a hollow tube. Originally, it's the eucalyptus tree. The ones that I use a lot are made of agave cactus, the century plant. Okay. It's very lightweight because I play on the body. I'm primarily a sound healer.
And so we can hear you in...
Wait, that's a recording. I want to play it live for you.
Oh, you're very welcome. That's what I said. Do it anytime when you're ready.
If you can handle it. I don't know if this is the right...
Hopefully we won't blow any circuits.
I mean, is this the right moment?
I've been known to, yes.
This is the right moment? Okay, let's do it then. I offer these healing frequencies as a healing unto you and me and every being in all existence included, and helping.
To really respect the truth of ourselves and to know that it is only one truth of all selves, and truth is that which is the great harmonizer, and love is that which is the great clearer and cleanser and the great healer, and it is by virtue of the love time. And just really, really appreciate this moment to take this time and just relax and let go of anything that was vexing your spirit. You cannot be healed without a sincere effort and desire and intention to being whole within your spirit, within your mind, within your heart. You have to get lighter. You have to forgive. You have to be as all of the sainted and saviors and prophets and whatnot. All of them have gifted us so much. And then there's so much more that we can personally receive so that we have even a greater gift. You exist in a now moment of eternity where time has already been qualified in timelessness. The further you move away from the earth, the less time there really is. You are always held in a now moment by absolute law, absolute love, absolute light. And as you consciously seek and quest and hunger and thirst for the truth of yourself, then you have opportunity to come into greater and greater degrees of your true self.
Seems down and we reject it with a frown that circumstances then compel to pull us down in mental hell. But if we keep our mind on high, despite the pain of circumstance, up with our attitude, the circumstance rises and beyond its pain we then advance. Bitter circumstance is as a medicine to bring the wellness of a learned lesson. But we must swallow this medicine down to receive the healing and achieve the blessing. For if we spit this medicine out, life gives another dose without a doubt. Then we become victim of circumstance, a tyrant from which we can't advance until we learn to face it with a smile. Drink that bitter cup and go the extra mile, so that all things may be enhanced, because your attitude is more important than circumstance. And so I offer you that frequency, that's attitudes are more important than circumstances, a piece that I wrote many years ago, and I offer that frequency from the heart of Astarius Miraculi as that which would quicken your spirit and help you to rise above the trials and tribulations and come into the realization that pain is an angel in distress, fear is an angel in distress, and that there exists that power within each of us to free that distressed angel and to transform poison into potion, darkness into light, lead into gold. The sacred alchemy which we all hold, for we are the microcosm of the great macrocosm, container of the frequency of all that is, and our soul is the meeting place for the whole universe that we are. And it's time to remember that. It's time to own who we are. No more renting with option to buy, but own who you are. I love you so much.
The Creator is the totality of all there is existence itself, and we each are these living, loving, intelligent, potent, and immortal points of its absolute and eternal presence. O absolute and supreme intelligence, O cosmic I am, O absolute and supreme being, we give thanks on behalf of the whole of existence, for the glory of the triumph of thy absolute love, absolute light, absolute wisdom, absolute truth is the reality of our lives. We give thanks for the clearing, the cleansing, the purification, the renewal, the rebirth, the revitalization, the regeneration, the revivification, and the resurrection that is in process now. We thank you for our conscious participation in our doing that which is consistently in our own greater good, on behalf of those who've come before us, on behalf of the legacy of the lineages that we represent, on behalf of the ascendants and descendants of the ancients, of the aboriginal, the indigenous, and the native peoples, even on behalf of those who are kind of human and humankind, for there is nothing and no one in existence that exists except by virtue of your absolute intelligence is all there is. And we are so thankful, so grateful, so appreciative, so blessed for each and every breath and every beat of our hearts. We ask for greater inspiration to do that which is a greater work in our becoming our greater selves, being realigned, being reoriented, being cleared and cleansed, being uplifted, being quiet and meditative and reflective, being respectful of the rights of all beings to have the right to their lives. We give thanks, so absolute and supreme intelligence, for our guides, our guardians, our ancients, our angels, our Spirit forces that are working with us, we thank you for the triumph of absolute light, absolute love, absolute wisdom, and absolute truth is a reality of our global reality. Our lives is an eternal life, and that we will be off the planet much longer than we were on the planet, and that we should be experiencing greater and greater degrees of conscious care and love and thanksgiving for the blessing of being wherever we be, for we cannot be outside of the reality of that which is the truth of existence itself. On behalf of the whole of existence, we thank you that we are receiving the language of liberation, that each of our hearts and each of our heads are being completely cleared so that we can get the direct download of the laws of the eternal government. We give thanks for the healing of our wombs, for the healing of our children, for the healing of our families. We give thanks that there is no defeating you. We give thanks that we're learning the lessons that we're creating through the circumstances and situations, and to realize that every circumstance and situation is completely good enough to allow us to open our hearts, our minds, our lives, and our souls unto our Creator and say thank you for the blessedness of living, the gift of being. And when you're in the laws of that light and that love, then there is nothing that you cannot do, for you already exist in the infinity of possibilities. It is our time to realize that every being has the right to its liberation, to fulfill the purposes for which the Creator created it, to exalt the truth of itself. And so I encourage you to get light, to consciously care, to be as light as you possibly can be, to throw away your visions of being all pumped up and having so much junk in your trunk, to realize that potency is about how much currency you're able to be a conduit of, and it's a life current, it's a life force, and your wisdom is about how to share that life force and that life current and how to bless everybody with it. And as you are increasing the numbers of which who you're touching and who you're blessing, then your abundance of greater blessedness will definitely be yours. You're in a now moment of eternity, and sharing that now moment here, the meeting of the inner circle with Adama and Astarius.
Night Watch on 89.3 FM, WRFG, Atlanta.